since then, your investing seems to have switched to like, okay, the Blue Mountain place that you guys closed on, which is like a vacation property, and then, the Oakville home, and Tom's looking at, condos in Oakville. I think a similar approach for Sienna and Eden. So I can see the shift just from the last 4 years.
Yeah, those things. I mean, look, the Blue Mountain property is really just a lifestyle purchase. No different than the
Yeah.
Croatia property was a lifestyle purchase. So I don't even look at that as an investment. And it's an investment into lifestyle. Like the memories that we have from going to Europe every year with the family are priceless. And, we could rent a property every year as well. I've never met someone that will go as consistently and just rent a place every year. I mean, I'm sure people do it. It's just, I don't know that we would. I don't know that I would have ever done it because I'm not a good planner that way. So I think having that property forced me to be in Europe with the family, and I'm really glad that we did. And that's why we have that property up in Blue Mountain, because really it's not generating income. I mean, maybe we end up renting it for, like a medium-term rental or something. Maybe we do that for periods of time when we're not going to use it. I'm not sure. We're just getting it set up, so we'll see. But yeah, there's just been different things. It's a bit of a different journey. Like, the office, like when our office was coming up, it really tied our hands for a bit. And it goes back to the point about new construction that I kind of got away from, is that the challenge with new construction is when you buy it, maybe it does appreciate while you're waiting for it to close. Maybe it doesn't. But your hands are tied because you have these closings coming up and you can't do other things. Mm-hmm. So when we had bought this place and it kept getting delayed and delayed, we couldn't do anything for this was, I guess, just before COVID, but for the couple of years before COVID, we couldn't do much of anything because we had bought this place. And this is an investment, and this is a large investment, and it's a completely different type of investment, but it's great for us because regardless of if the business is here or elsewhere or whatever the case may be, this asset will be here for another business and it'll be here for a long time. And so this we view 100% as an investment, even though we're using it ourselves right now. But it was the challenge of, having to sit on the sidelines while waiting for the financing for this, because if we went and got one or two other properties and then the bank decides at the end of the day, you know what, those properties really throw the numbers off. We don't really like this so much anymore. And then we couldn't close on this. We're really in a problem especially because it houses the business. So, so it has changed a little bit. But I think probably mixed in is more lifestyle purchases with the investments as well.
Yeah, buying the vacation property, that's something I've thought of in the past. Like, why not just go rent a new place every year somewhere else? You can kind of see the whole world. You're not stuck with this one property in this one area that you might get bored of. But I actually like that point. Like, I've never thought of it that it was a forced thing. Like, it forced you to go to Europe every year and spend time with your family. Not that like you didn't want to do that, but you almost feel guilty owning that property and not using it.
Yeah, I'm not convinced we'd go. Like at least my family, like I'm not convinced that we would.
Yeah, I think most people would probably agree to that.
Yeah, and then I agree with what you're saying about always going to a different place. And before we had kids, my wife and I were like our trips were, maybe we'd go to a country, we'd go to 2 or 3 different spots in the country or something. Like we'd like traveling around, seeing all this different stuff. And then it changed a little bit when we had young kids, because to do that with young children, not that you can't, we started traveling with our kids overseas before their first birthdays, both of them, right? Ava was only 5 months old the first time she was in Europe. So, but it is more difficult. You're definitely more of a donkey. Like you're lugging a lot of stuff around, right? And so it was good, but I just don't think we would have done that. So, and then I've been more open to going to one place, partly because of that. And then once I was exposed to that, there's something to be said for getting someplace and feeling like it's home. Mm. And even for my kids, like we get to, where we are in Croatia, and they're just like, everyone's just immediately just kind of chills. Everyone kind of knows that, has a little bit of a routine and stuff. So it's really nice that way.